Hey folks, this is Tara Whitford, and this is Empath Talk. In today's talk, I want to discuss how to connect with Source, Spirit, that higher power, universe, God, Christ, angels, whatever it is that makes sense to you, put that term in there. What I want to bring in today is how to do that. People often ask me, Tara, like, you're so good at listening to Spirit. How do you do that? It isn't a gift that I have and nobody else has. I believe that everyone has this gift to be able to listen to Spirit. And I believe that for everyone, Spirit is talking to you very, very continuously. Now, what we do is we tend to write it off. We tend to say things like, I didn't really hear that, especially if it's good. I didn't really hear that. That's not me. I'm not special. I didn't do anything to deserve Spirit to talk to me. So Spirit only talks to blessed people, and I'm not blessed. Like, I'm not special in that way. Everyone is special in that way. If you are walking on the planet, you are special in some way, and you are special enough that Spirit wants to talk to you. I want to run you through some of my routines when I'm getting ready to listen to Spirit. So the first thing that I do is I check myself. I remind myself that whatever's coming through, it doesn't matter whether I think it's coming from me or whether, it's coming from someplace else, I'm not going to stop that process. What happens next is I have to give myself some dedicated time. So I will dedicate some time to actually listening to Spirit, and I will bring a notepad and paper. We got to write it down. Then when we sit and actually listen, be mindful, pay attention, with the intention that there's a message, that we're asking right now for a message from our guides, from that higher power, from that higher self. We're asking for a message from God. Now you have to be quiet. Sometimes you can go in with a question. What you might do with a question is you might say, okay, I'm really struggling. I'm struggling with this issue that I've got. I'm struggling with this next step. I'm struggling with this decision. Give me some insight. Help me to figure it out. Now we can trust. The next thing is trust. If you've kind of said, okay, I'm waiting for a message, or okay, I've got this thing that I'm working on and I need some help. The next thing is to trust that whatever's going to come to you in the next 3 days is going to be beneficial, and it's going to answer your questions. It's going to answer your call. It doesn't need to take 3 days to get your answer, but if you're not used to doing this, sometimes 3 days is what it does take to get your answer. What you can just do is go into this place of neutral, and you're listening, and you're watching, and you're smelling, and you're tasting. You're feeling, you're sensing. And you might get a little word. Write it down. You might get a color, a shape. Write it down. If it's a shape, if you can draw it, draw it. You might get a phrase. Write it down, capture it. You might get a little video that takes you into someplace from your past. Jot it all down. You can be in point form as long as you can remember what that video was when you go back to that note. Jot it all down because it's all important. It might be some self-talk that comes in that says something negative. If there is something negative coming in, this is usually you and your self-talk kind of saying, I don't deserve a message. This isn't for me. Spirit isn't going to talk to me. Whatever that is. What you want to do with those is you want to say, I hear you. I'm trying this anyway. What else is in there? I hear that. I get it. What else is in there? And then the next positive thing or the next neutral thing, write it down. See a color, a shape, a word, a phrase. If they're all neutral or positive, they are coming from spirit. If they are negative in any way, they are probably coming from a life lesson or something that you have to learn. You can write it down too, but just don't think that that is coming from spirit, that that's the message that spirit wants to tell you. So let me give you an example. If I'm sitting here and I say, okay, I'm ready to grow my business, spirit, what's my next step? And I hear, you're not ready to grow your business. You don't make enough money. You don't have enough money to grow your business. That's not spirit. If you are hearing something negative from the get-go, and then you're trying to build from that, you're probably not hearing a spirit message. You're probably working on some of your own things that you have to learn here. If I say, hey, spirit, I'm trying to grow my business. What's my next step? And I see a cube. Okay, I'm gonna draw that cube. I'm gonna draw it as best as I can, as what's in my head. If I hear a phrase, maybe I hear, you got this. Maybe I hear a word that I've never heard before. Go look it up in the dictionary. Is it there? Is there a word like that that is similar or that rhymes? What does that word mean? Once you have these notes, once you know what to do with the negative talk and not to build on that, just to know that that's kind of, we're just growing through that stuff, that's okay. And now we're going to take our notes that we've made from the points that have come in that have been neutral or that have been positive, and we are going to extrapolate on that. Now we're going to go with spirit and we're going to say, okay, spirit, I saw cube. What does that mean? And you might hear cube means to build. A cube means you're in the box. A cube means, go outside of the box. A cube means something. So we're going to write that down. We might have heard a word. When you're getting words, then you can ask for more words because you'll get them. Okay. When you're getting a phrase, so you might get a phrase that says, till the dawn, till the dawn. And so write that down. And then you might go in and say, till the dawn, what does that mean? And when you're getting a series of words that are coming together, when you ask what it means, you will get the answer. It may give you little videos of the past, and if that happens, write it down. And it may give you little snippets of a movie that you watched. Write it down. All of those things will be relevant, and then it's a bit of a puzzle. We have to be able to put it together. What I'm going to tell you is we must put it together in a positive form, because when it's positive, it's actually coming from spirit. When it's negative, it is coming from our own self-doubt and our own self-worth and our own life lessons. And it might not be the answer that we are looking for. Now, if when you have gone through that secondary phase where you are asking for different perspectives of the word, of the phrase, different words, you want to be able to understand it. Don't expect that in the first go you're going to get it completely. Don't turn it into something that you already knew. Turn it into something that maybe you knew, but maybe you didn't already know this. Maybe this is completely different, or maybe it's another piece of that puzzle to get you a little further ahead. A lot of times when we start talking to spirit, we start putting our own projections in there. We start saying, hey, you know what? I already knew that. I know that I'm supposed to do that. Thanks, Spirit, for reminding me, but I'm on it already. When Spirit might be saying, when you are on this, doing this, try this. But all we hear is, you're on this, doing this. Okay, Spirit, thanks very much. And we go on our way. Keep the ears open. Keep yourself into that place of neutral. You don't know all the answers. You are standing in front of your holy divine. They are about to share with you some things that you don't know already. Remember that as you go in. Okay, folks, that's what I have for today's Empath Talk. I hope it helps. I look forward to doing this next time. We'll see you soon.